Well, good morning and welcome to the show. Jeff Beals here at your service. We are glad you joined us. This is the only program in the metro area that discusses what's happening in your favorite city when it comes to growth and development. We are, as always, grateful for our title sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center Best of Omaha award winner many years in a row, providing outstanding body services for your automobile. Now time to bring on my co-host, a man who is a legendary real estate deal maker in the flesh from NAI NP Dodge Commercial Real Estate, Trenton Magid.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Jeff.
Well, good morning, Trenton. I am really excited this week because we have a new section in Grow Omaha.
Our newsletter is growing, our platform is growing, and everybody should latch on to Grow Omaha Media.
So we want to welcome Omaha Exploration. That is a very popular site that started a couple years ago. It's owned by Patrick Wyman. You can find it online, Omaha Exploration, or he has a big presence on social media. A lot of people see it on Facebook, where he has a tremendous following. Well, Patrick Wyman and Omaha Exploration, we've teamed up with him, and now every week Patrick will write a history article, a very interesting history article for Grow Omaha subscribers. And when you think, okay, history, Omaha, Grow Omaha, a lot of what Patrick's going to write is going to revolve around buildings. And for his very first one, which dropped just this past Thursday, he wrote about the historic Prague Hotel at 13th and William Street in Little Bohemia on the south side. And so if you want to see these, they appear in two different places. They'll be in the newsletter every single week, or just go to growomaha.com. You got the navigation bar at the top. You can click local history. That'll take you there. Or you can just scroll down on the homepage. There's a kind of a visual link, but we'll have history articles every week. They're very well written. And we would like to officially welcome Patrick to the show. And then also, we have a new arts and culture writer. Joe Champion was doing that for a while and did a great job for us, but he had to move on. And so we found Grace Huffstetler. She's a recent journalism grad from UNO, and her first arts and culture article appeared this week. So we're growing faster.
We love our growing team of Grow Omaha contributors. As always, all of our content at Grow Omaha Media is free to the public. So our generous sponsors have partnered with us to get you this information. You can subscribe to the newsletter. Just go to growomaha.com. It comes to you once a week. That's all we do is send you one email every week, and you get to find out what's new, what's going in, what's coming out, and we appreciate you following Grow Omaha.
Without any further ado, it's time for our growth and development news of the week. Got a lot of things on the agenda. It's brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. They are the people you want to know if you're thinking about buying a house. Most people need to go get a loan, often a pretty big one. And so you want to make sure you do it right, that you got people you can trust who know what they're doing. So Eagle Mortgage has a team of mortgage brokers and support staff led by our friend Holly Schneiderwin. They do an outstanding job. They'll sit down with you. And because they're not a bank, they can shop a variety of banks. They represent you, get you hooked up with the right lending solution. And so it doesn't matter whether you're going to go conventional, FHA, VA, they even do some specialty loans. They'll take good care of you. EagleMortgageCompany.com is the website, and then you can find them online, or rather in person, at 114th and Davenport Street. All right, on with the news. We start at Heartwood Preserve. That is the 500-acre development west and southwest of Boys Town. If you drive by, there's so many projects underway, and it's very, very impressive. A lot of projects have been completed in that area, but we got news updates for two of them. First of all, we got yet another 4-story Class A office building planned for that development. It's going to be called Heartwood Place. It'll be 166,000 square feet, multi-tenant building with all of the Class A amenities like underground parking, gym facilities, locker rooms, patio, balconies, fire pits, conference room. After you say all that stuff, conference room sounds a little bit anticlimactic. It doesn't measure up quite to a shower and a fire pit. But the exact address, if you're familiar with Heartwood Preserve, will be 200 South Applied Parkway, just south of Acani, Just south of Valmont, I should say, and it will be built by Cizik Construction.
Yeah, and Cizik Development, Ron Cizik has been a very upscale home builder. He's been doing it for a long time, longer than most of all of us, and he builds beautiful buildings. He partners with the Scotts to get it leased, and what's unique about this building, Jeff, is in a kind of a tough office market. This is as high end as it goes. I'm told this is the nicest building that he's ever built, and he's built a lot of stuff at First National Business Park and along Dodge Street. And this will be high rent district, but it's going to be very cool. A lot of glass, balconies, a lot of amenities, and it's good that people will take the development risk to do this. And so it's the right place for it. So we're excited to see how fast it fills up. But they're going to break ground in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, and we have not yet seen a rendering for that, but when we do, we'll make sure we put that on the website and all of the Grow Omaha social media. Now, in the same area, we believe directly to the south, an Arizona real estate developer by the name of Raymond Partners plans to build a very large condominium project. We reported on this back in early summer, late spring, I believe it was. It's going to be called the Residences at Heartwood Preserve. Luxury condo development. It'll have 3 6-story buildings. Very, very impressive stuff. But we've just found out through a Raymond Partners press release that the 35 condo units that will make up Phase 1, they'll build these 3 buildings in 3 phases. The 35 condo units in Phase 1 are supposedly 20% pre-sold. And so that shows a lot of progress. Now, I cannot find any record of a building permit in that area, but it looks like that project is progressing.
But it's also 2028 delivery, it says. And so when people make reservations for these and put down deposits, we're talking about most of these units are going to be over $1 million, which is, for condos in Omaha, they're going to set some records. And it is, a pool, and I'm sure they'll have other amenities and concierge services and things like that. But there's 3 buildings, so it'll be interesting to watch the progress of this project. But everybody talks about a modern version of Swanson Towers, that we haven't had that forever. This is 84th and Dodge, where a lot of people have been there for generations, and this is a Class A condo project, and I hope it goes well.
Well, we now go to North Downtown, specifically the Millwork Commons district, and that's where crews have recently demolished a very underwhelming, small, vacant industrial building bounded by 11th, 12th, Nicholas, and Millwork Avenue. And the city recently purchased that ground for $600,000. The city will build and own a 600-stall garage, about a $25 million project. Completion is scheduled for about a year from now. And that's actually a very exciting project. And you might say, why are you so excited about a parking garage?
Jeff, why are you so excited?
I'm glad you asked. And the reason for it is that we have so much development already happening in that area. You've got the Nova Apartments. You've got the Frame Apartments. Supposedly another vacant historic building is going to become a hotel pretty soon. Well, also, there's a lot of land to the east currently owned by Union Pacific, and we keep hearing about all sorts of things that could be developed there. It's becoming a great area. It'll become a greater area. And, you got to have a place to park people. So this is a good step to make Millwork Commons even bigger.
Yeah, and we need a place to have a Union soccer stadium.
And who knows? Maybe that's where it might end up. But it's funny that you should say that, because we reported on GrowOmaha.com yesterday that Union Omaha will be playing next year's season on Creighton University's Morrison Stadium field.
Bringing it to the neighborhood.
Yeah, so they are going downtown. So who knows? Maybe that will be the next step to getting a downtown soccer stadium. We also reported, since we're speaking of sports yesterday, that the Omaha Supernovas have released their 2026 schedule, which will be their first season in the new Major League Volleyball. And you can find that article on the sports section of GrowOmaha.com. Supernovas are getting to be a big, big deal. And people are really excited. They hold all the records for professional volleyball attendance at CHI Health Center Omaha. Now, we want to stay in the urban core. Moving from downtown, we now go to 29th and Jackson Street, and that is where Midwest Businesses and Projects LLC plans to build a 6-unit townhome on a long vacant lot. Like I said, it's 29th and Jackson Street, a little bit south of Leavenworth, if that helps you out. Site preparation is now underway. A groundbreaking ceremony took place last week. It's going to be a $2.5 million project, and this is one of those several projects that are receiving funds from the North and South Omaha Recovery Grant Program. It'll also get a little tax increment financing from the city. And then finally, the row house building will feature a large outdoor mural. And Trenton, speaking of this, I attended a program, I think it was Tuesday morning this week. It was put on by the Greater Omaha Chamber, but they had the CEO of OPPD, Omaha Public Power District, there, and he talked for about an hour. And it was fascinating just to kind of hear about the challenges and everything else. But one of the things he said, and he said this in a good way, he said, my goodness, the amount of power usage going up in the urban core because there's so much construction. And that's where we want it, because we already have good infrastructure in the urban core.
Yeah, it's not just the data centers. We hear a lot of rumblings of, is OPPD keeping up with enough power, with AI and technology and everything? And that's the last thing that we need the Silicon Prairie to be held back by.
Now, looking way out west, we have some early indication of a user coming to the Avenue 1 Good Life District. This is just south of 192nd and West Dodge Expressway. We have a small 2-story building. It'll be a 2-story building, 15,000 square feet, for a wellness and health center. We know from a building permit that the name is Aviva, but that's about all we know. Now, we keep hearing rumblings about some very impressive retailers, like big brand name upscale retailers going to that development. We're keeping our eye on that, and we'll report things, but good to see some early movement in that Avenue 1 Good Life District.
No question about it. It's been a long time, and everybody talks about, the name of it, the crossover 192nd Street. What do they call that?
What are you talking about?
The once you get off Dodge Street and you go south.
The intersection?
Yeah.
Diverging Diamond. It's
the
done
old
now.
Divergent
Diamonds.
Go try it out. It's weird when you're going south and you're in the left on the east side.
Okay, a couple quick little stories we want to hit before we wrap this thing up. The Latino Center of the Midlands is undergoing a $10 million renovation and expansion. The project was kickstarted by a $2.8 million grant, also from that state of Nebraska's North and South Omaha Recovery Grant Program I talked about just a moment ago. This project is scheduled to be completed on the 24th Street corridor in early 2027. Will expand the center from 17,000 square feet to almost 30,000 square feet. This is part of the nonprofit Canopy South, which is doing a lot of cool projects in South O. And then finally, an organization by the name of Omaha Street Soccer. Omaha Street Soccer is looking to revitalize the Schenzel Community Center field at 2220 North 20th Street. It's really close to Sherman School on the north side, just a little bit south of 16th and Stores Expressway. And the nonprofit is looking to raise $7,500 more to make that happen. So good to see projects happening on the north side.
Usually we talk about multi-million-dollar projects on this show. They just need $7,500, people. Let's step it up.
Hell, most Omaha listeners can find that in their car seats. So get that done. All
if
you,
not, go to your children's car seats.
All you well-heeled Omaha listeners. And finally, a new documentary called Blue Baby. A new documentary called Blue Baby. A little bout of dyslexia here this morning. A new documentary called Blue Baby offers a candid look into Boys Town and the work being done there. The film takes audiences into one of the homes at Boys Town and follows 8 boys through their highest highs and their lowest lows. Blue Baby is now streaming on Amazon Prime Video. And that is your news of the week, brought to you by Eagle Mortgage, eaglemortgagecompany.com. When we come back, Halloween's over, which means that It's almost Christmas, and everything's being decorated. The Salvation Army Tree of Lights is under construction at 90th and Dodge as we broadcast. We're going to be talking about that and some related topics that are very cool. We've got with us Jeff Beckman from the Salvation Army and Travis Freeman, president of Bright Ideas Decorating. Stay with us. You're going to love it. You're listening to Jeff and Trenton on Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. Big shout out to our title sponsors. They are Cheer Athletics, the nation's #1 all-star cheer gym, along with Dingman's Collision Center, Best of Omaha award winner for soon-to-be 5 metro area locations. This is Grow Omaha, and we are very excited to bring on Jeff Beckman, Executive Director of Development for the Salvation Army's Omaha-based division, and Travis Freeman, President of Bright Ideas Decorating. We are doing this because it is almost Tree of Lights time. Travis is chairing this year's Tree of Lights campaign, and I couldn't help but notice as I drove to the studio this morning, passing by 90th and Dodge, the Christmas tree is under construction. Jeff and Travis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Welcome to this season, guys.
Yeah, this is great. So just so we understand, the Tree of Lights is at 90th and Dodge, construction today, but we don't turn it on for a while. It'll be there, but it won't be turned on until we have a proper ceremony.
Right. November 13th, 5 o'clock at 90th and Dodge is the kickoff for the Red Kettle event, and also the kickoff of the tree we'll turn on, and our newest adventure with
Theme park.
Yeah, theme park. 70 acres in Valley called Christmas Land.
Tell us a little bit about that.
So we bought the land 2 years ago. We've been working on it literally since we bought it. And it's been a dream of mine since right out of high school when I was starting Bright Ideas. And I don't know if you guys remember, but the one I went to was, they had a drive-through around Exarban. It was the infield.
Okay. Yep, remember that.
Do you remember? And it was literally like upside-down tomato cages with Christmas lights strung on them. And I don't know, I was like,
I can do better.
yeah, we can do better than that. So we found the land, started working on it, doing the roads, getting all the electrical in, and to be what it is today. And then when they had asked me to chair the Tree of Lights this year for the Salvation Army, I thought, what a great way to be able to give back to the Salvation Army. So we're going to have a portion of every single car ticket that goes through there we'll be giving back to the Salvation Army Tree of Lights.
So just so we understand, so this Christmas land, Travis, you drive through, you stay in your car, and you drive through, and as you go through, you'll see amazing light displays.
Yeah,
that'll get you in the holiday spirit.
It's literally, it's stuff you've never seen anywhere.
3D.
Yeah, it's 3D. There's 9 tunnels of lights. There's a 400-foot RGB tunnel that when you're inside the tunnel, you can't even see the other side of it.
Huh.
It's 2 miles long, and it'll take you approximately 27 minutes to get through.
Is there a website?
There is. It's ChristmaslandValley.com.
So this is going to be located, to get to it from Omaha, you would take Highway 275 and exit Miggs Street, and then you take a right, and it's right there. And it's behind the Groundscapes facility, I think you said?
It's just east of, like, you can see it literally from the Dairy Queen right there. So it's just east of, there's the Beefcake Jerky building right there, and then Groundscapes, and we're just east of that.
Just instead of going away from the light, go towards the light, people.
Yeah, we were having Trent and I were having a hard time until you said Dairy Queen and Beefcake, and they were like, oh, fine, as long as you associate it with food, we'll be there.
So is that at nightfall, or what are the hours?
It's from 4:30 to 10:30, and we're going to be there from November 13th all the way up through January 4th.
And then what would be the cost of admission? Is it on a per-car basis or a per-passenger basis?
It's a per-car basis. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is $35 per car. And then through Sunday is $40.
So if I have a bunch of clown friends, 14 of them in a Volkswagen, it's still just one fee.
Yeah, if you can fit those in, we'll pay to see that.
We'll be part of the display.
Julio, bring out the stretch.
So you were going to do this, though, it sounds like, Travis. You were going to do this anyway, and then separate from the Salvation Army. And then when you became in charge of the Tree of Lights campaign, that's where you got the idea. So this has been in the works regardless, it sounds like.
This has been in the works regardless. I've been thinking about this for a long time, looking at different pieces of land, and then this one came up, and as things go, it was bigger than what I wanted, but you fill it up, and then now you think we need more.
So tell us a little bit about Bright Ideas. The name of the company is Bright Ideas Decorating. I think most people can get the impression that you're all about Christmas decorations and other holiday decorations, but tell us a little bit more about your company.
So, yes, I started the company right out of high school. I've actually been involved with the Salvation Army for 24 years. I was telling Jeff that when it was down at the courthouse, and then the tree went from the courthouse to Crossroads Mall, and then to where the tree sits today. I started with somebody handed me a trash bag of lights and saying, "Can you put these up in my house?" And it took me longer to untangle the lights than it did for me to put them up on the house.
And one didn't work back then, and you had to figure it out.
And that was rough.
And, I tried to find a solution for a problem that, I thought we had, and then started doing distributorships all around the country. And today we have over 550 distributors across the United States selling our product.
And you manufacture your own stuff, somewhere, but it's your name on it.
Yeah, we do. We have our own factory in China, and then we manufacture all that and then bring that in. And so there's been some struggles with the tariffs and pricing and things like that. But
imagine,
dealing with that, working through that. So
when Christmas Land opens on November 13th, same day as the Tree of Light ceremony at 90th and Dodge, where did you go to find some of these amazing displays that we've never had before in Omaha, and how difficult were they to find them, put them together, come up with them?
Well, I will tell you, the guys out there, Johnny, Josiah, it's taken literally, we got a container yesterday. They were unloading, so they're still putting up the lights that are going to be on for November 5th. So we're literally down to the last minute trying to get everything ready, and we paid the truck driver to drive it from L.A. Port to here extra to get the lights here in time.
To get it. That's great. It's like cleaning up for company, but you're going to get a lot of
and
company.
That'll open to the public November 13th. And then on the Tree of Lights, Jeff Beckman from the Salvation Army, you said at 5 o'clock on 90th and Dodge. Do you want the public there?
The public is invited. Thank you, Trenton. And we're going to have music for about an hour, and then we have a brief program, and then we have a countdown, and the lights come on. And it's one of the greatest Christmas traditions.
And that's a free
probably
event,
in the city.
right?
It's free, and there's lots of food, Trenton. So bring for both of you gentlemen.
We'll
stop
bring
by.
our appetites.
We want this to be the public event. We have several other events. Travis hosted one for our major donors the other night at Bright Ideas. It was a wonderful event. We just want the entire community to show up and celebrate the beginning of the Christmas season.
Okay, and then real fast before we wrap up, Jeff, give us the overview of what the Tree of Lights campaign does and how important the red kettles are.
The Tree of Lights campaign, our goal this year is $3.3 million. We raise the vast majority of our annual funding during the next couple of months. 70-80% of our funding comes in now. And that will all be invested in programs and services that really help the most vulnerable people in our community. Almost every person who we serve is living in poverty. There are a few exceptions. It's food, it's clothing. It's food right now is the big topic, and we're trying to raise more money for food. But we also have behavioral health services for people who don't have anywhere else to turn. Lots of youth activities in North Omaha, South Omaha. We have a new center in North Omaha that we opened half of it a couple of weeks ago. And we're seeing a lot more need to serve youth in, like I said, particularly North and South Omaha. But we serve the entire community. Matter of fact, if somebody comes in from outside of the metro area, they can find assistance from the Salvation Army too.
Well, gentlemen, we appreciate you joining us. Jeff Beckman, thanks for all the work you and your colleagues do at the Salvation Army to enhance our community. And Travis Freeman, we appreciate you making this big commitment and your team there at Bright Ideas doing such good work for our community. Thanks, gentlemen.
Yeah, thank you. And by the way, Travis is very humble. That's a world-class drive-through. He is putting something together really special, and I hope people will enjoy it.
All right. It's called Christmas Land, opening November 13th in Valley, same day as the Tree of Lights tree lighting ceremony at 90th and Dodge. All right, we're going to take our middle of the show break for the news. When we come back, we've got the Noddle Company's commercial real estate development spotlight with three new retailers at Exarban Village. You're listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And welcome back to Grow Omaha. Jeff and Trenton here, sitting in the KFA Penthouse studio high above Underwood Avenue in beautiful downtown Dundee. We are brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, which has 4 medical metro area locations. Got a new one coming soon to Gretna. None other than Trenton Magid did that real estate deal, and they're going to be opening soon. And then we have also Cheer Athletics, which is our second title sponsor. Craig and Tiffany Wolf own it. I've known Craig's literally since kindergarten, and Tiffany not quite as long, but since they've been married. And they do a great job. Their base is right there in Papillion, a little bit southwest of Highways 50 and 370. All right, it's now time for your Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight of the Week, in which we talk about projects and happenings and construction in or around one of Noddle Company's many projects. And Noddle Companies has a lot of them. We got an email this week. Trenton and I are on the commercial real estate broker emails, and we got an email for various retail properties that Noddle Companies has. My gosh, there were so many of them. So many of these like retail properties or Noddle Companies. And it's interesting because when we're here, we usually talk about, they got Exarban Village or the Builders District. But a lot of your favorite shopping centers are Noddle Companies properties. So we're going to go for this Noddle Company's Commercial Real Estate Development Spotlight to the world famous Exarban Village.
I didn't realize how old Exarban Village is.
Oh, like what? Is it about 20 years now?
Yeah, 20, 25 years old. It's crazy.
Yeah. Crazy. Well, it's like it's its own little city, really.
It really, but it's developed over time, and all the new elements and tenants, and it's really, and I've always said this, that it's the true mixed use development. People talk about mixed use development, but this has the education aspect with the college. It's got condos, apartments, businesses, retail, service businesses, the park.
And so let's talk about these three new retail users. The first one is a restaurant called Red Door Wood-Fired Grill. They are taking over the former Spirit World space in Exarban Village. That's an 8,000 square foot space. It'll be a real nice sized restaurant. The exact address is 6680 Center Street, but it's right there on the corner. Now, Red Door Wood-Fired Grill plans to open in the second quarter of next year, so in the spring. It is from Kansas City. They have 6 Kansas City metro locations. They're known for scratch-made food, cooked with smoky pecan, oak, and hickory blend, so a lot of wood fire stuff. And they're also planning an opening in Gretna. But Trenton, a lot of people have asked us, what's going into Spirit World at Exarban Village? Now you know.
Absolutely, and they get high marks on social media.
The next one is Grand Patisserie. This is a popular French bakery at 144th and West Center Road. They are going to open a second location in Exarban Village by the end of this year. Their signage is already up on the building. It's a 2,800 square foot space formerly occupied by Rexius Nutrition. Now, before you're like, wait a minute. Rexius Nutrition's still in Exarban Village. They just moved around the corner. So the old Rexius Nutrition space is going to be Grand Patisserie.
Absolutely, and we go there all the time. It's right next to Vasa, just to the west of Vasa, 145th and West Center Road. And the patisserie, it's unbelievable. All their baked goods are fresh and really nice people. The couple is from Tunisia.
And then the third and final new retailer that we're going to report for Exarban Village is Marigold Mercantile. This is a home goods store, and it is taking over the former Book Nook space, just a 1,500 square foot space. The exact address is 2115 South 67th, but it's next to a Godfather's Pizza that has been there in Exarban for some time. So it's nice to see Trenton, a home goods store coming, a little bit of
Another
upscale
variety.
decor. Yeah. So good on Exarban Village and Noddle Companies for bringing 3 great new additions to that development. I can't wait to try that Red Door because wood-fired food is about as good as it gets in Jeff's opinion. Well, shifting gears just a little bit real fast, a couple other things. The Omaha City Council has made a big step forward on the Tranquility Park Sports Complex. We've been hearing about that. There's been a lot of background work going on.
Long time coming.
Yep, for the last couple of years, a lot of people worked very hard on that. But during this week's City Council meeting, the City Council heard remarks regarding an ordinance to approve a contract with Kiewit to get going, a $60 million contract that would include the construction of 12 synthetic turf soccer fields, $20 million would go into a new interceptor sewer line because you got to serve the area. Sewers are important. And the initial build-out will include grading 4 additional fields, which would be finished in the future. So the site will be prepped for them, but eventually they would have then 16 fields. And looking like the first phase opened by summer of 2027.
Yeah, and they also have supposedly a nice hotel waiting in the wings to go up there, but they want to see this project started as well. And then you also have Tranquility Commons, which Mulhall's is developing right next door.
So great area, and this is really important because Omaha has been having to do a lot of catch-up when it comes to the lucrative multi-billion-dollar youth sports industry, and we've added a lot of facilities, a lot on their way, but we need more because let me tell you, as a guy who's kids went through it and they're too old for youth activities like that now, but goodness gracious, it is a lucrative business, and Omaha wants every piece of it we can possibly
What you're
get.
saying is that not everybody plays volleyball?
No, soccer.
We're doing our volleyball. We're doing our
swimming,
soccer.
baseball,
Absolutely.
football, hockey.
I think swimming, I know there's a couple projects focused on swimming and swimming safety that I look forward to.
All right, it's time for your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round after we make this final break of the hour, and that's when we talk about a lot of things really fast. So stay with us. Good things on the docket. You're going to love it. You're listening to Grow Omaha. Jeff and Trenton from NAI NP Dodge were brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center and Cheer Athletics on News Radio 1110 KFAB. And folks, that was a monumental announcement. We wish the best to our beloved Gary as he goes into retirement. Although he's not really retiring, he's still going to be on the docket as a fill-in host. But we'll when we get close to Gary's actual last day on KFAB, we'll talk about how Gary brought us over to this awesome superstation. All right, it's time for your Perkins Kreitzer Construction Lightning Round. Just a few minutes of this in which we're going to tell you a lot of things. Thank you, though, to Perkins Kreitzer Construction for making this possible. Dave Kreitzer is in charge over there, and I talk to him regularly about the very cool projects that they're doing. And I tell you what, if you are looking at building something for your business or in your whatever, your nonprofit, your religious organization, your community organization, call Perkins Kreitzer Construction. I'm not going to give you the phone number because no one remembers phone numbers on the radio, but I can tell you that the website is p-cconstruction.com, p-cconstruction.com. Perkins Kreitzer is a full-service Class A contractor, and it's not just Omaha. They go deep into Nebraska, deep into Iowa, and they do a great job delivering projects that are outstanding, on time, in the budget, and a project that you'll be proud of. Perkins Kreitzer Construction. All right, Trenton, we've got a new business coming to the failed Burger Detour building at 1220 South 203rd Street. It's going to be called J. Garot's Deli and Market. They are now hiring right now. This, of course, is southeast of 204th and Pacific, but we don't know much. They've got just kind of a basic website up so far, but it says this, I'll quote, "We're bringing together a classic deli with a local market of delicious, fun, and eclectic food items to prepare your meal at home or stay and enjoy one of our fresh, flavorful meals."
So I wonder if that's going to be a pickup window, if they're going to keep that drive-through.
I know. I could see that going either way. We're going to keep our eye on it. We'll try to get more information
And do we
for
know
everyone.
if it's related to the grots that have been...
That was the first thing I wondered when we discovered that Jay Garot's is going into the former Burger Detour at 204th and Pacific.
Because the Grotz family doesn't own Grotz anymore. So
Yeah, it could be, or it could just be a coincidence. We'll try to find out. Blahas, B-L-A-H-A-S. Blahas is a craft beer and cocktail bar concept. They're opening at 721 North 14th Street in the former Zip Line Brewing Space in North Downtown, next to the Ruth Sokoloff Theater. They're described as an upscale yet approachable tap room. The bar will have 12 to 14 rotating taps. Seasonal cocktail menu looks like a nice addition to North Downtown. Owner plans to open by the end of this year. And then we've got this new concept out of Des Moines, Iowa. It's called Hyper Energy Bar. It's a beverage chain. They've got 3 of them under development in Omaha. Now, we knew of 2. Now they've got 3. The third one is going to open just northwest of 204th and Harrison Street. There's a Children's Nebraska facility there, kind of suburban mini hospital. The other planned locations are 180th and Burke near Village Point and 180th and Maple.
Yeah, think kind of a coffee kiosk, but double drive-through, and it's a lot of energy drinks. And they've done well in Des Moines, and this is a natural place to expand that concept. I believe Seven Brew does a lot of the energy drinks as well. But
opening in the same area in Maple.
And now we're going to find out whether Dutch Brothers, because now that every time we get a new concept that everybody raves about on social media, they want the next one. So let's see how these all do.
Tussie's Casual Grill, a local restaurant that opened back in 2008, has changed ownership. Jennifer Zong, who is the president and CEO of Omaha-based JZW International, has taken over ownership. She also owns Omaha Prime in the Old Market. Now, Tussie's is located at 9229 Mormon Bridge Road. That's really close to 48th and McKinley. Want to congratulate Hyde's Slides. It's hard to say that. It's Hydes, Hyde's Slides, Omaha burger and fry concept that grew from a food truck into a brick and mortar store located at 168th and Q in that Mission Village shopping center there. They are spotlighted on the YouTube show called America's Best Restaurants, and their episode is expected to air in February. By the way, they also operate inside the Grover Inn near 42nd and Grover. And then we have one more thing, another restaurant changing ownership. Beacon Hills, a full-service restaurant in Exarban Village, is now under new ownership after 24 years. The founder retired. A new owner plans to kind of keep things similar, but maybe, spruce things up a little bit here and there and maybe throw in a couple of his own changes. And the address is 6750 Mercy Road. Oh, also really fast, got a closure. Eden's Preserve, a local health and beauty shop focused on sustainability, has closed its doors in the Shops of Legacy, southwest 168th and Center.
It's no longer sustainable?
Apparently. And the music is playing, which means that the show is finito. But we hope you have a great weekend and enjoy the chilly autumn weather. I'm Jeff Beals.
And I'm Trenton Magid.
You've been listening to Grow Omaha, brought to you by Dingman's Collision Center, along with Cheer Athletics and Perkins Kreitzer Construction. We'll chat with you next week at 9, as always, right here on News Radio 1110 KFAB.